Hey there YouTube. The title of this video is an awesome tool for stackers, and what I'm referring to is this book right here, Money Master the Game, and this video is going to be about my personal experience of how it applies to stacking and just how to use this to be a better stacker. And I think a big thing that's why this is specific to stackers, this is a very good tool, because very in detail he goes into the book about different methods for trying to save and accumulate wealth, and a lot of them are based around pay raise sort of increments where you take a portion of the pay raise and you put that directly into savings, so you never really see it, never really feel the hurt. But in my opinion, there is no better way than stacking silver than to sort of begin learning how to save, because you get something shiny, very pretty, very fun to hold, and very gratifying. Not sure exactly why, but here, if I can, let's just look at that. Oh, well, maybe not. Okay, it looks good. It's very gratifying to have, and you sort of trick yourself into savings while you're buying silver. You're getting your buying urge out of the way, and you're fulfilling your need to save. So I feel like stackers are pretty much cream of the crop when it comes to that aspect of savings. And I know a lot of stackers out there that are diversified and several different avenues of wealth preservation, and a lot of them use 401ks. And I've got it marked right there, it's this one, page 113 through 115 is a must read if you're ever going to invest with a 401k or any sort of retirement plan, because it goes into detail of the fees and how they can just, if you don't know all the fees you're getting into with your retirement plan or your mutual fund or something like that, you could lose. He said, and he goes through the numbers in a very, very detailed way. He said up to like 40% of what you try to save, and what you would get 40% more if not for those exorbitant fees. And there's ways to get around those fees, and he goes into that too. And it's an awesome book. I had no idea about that. And so if you're diversified in a retirement account of any sorts, you need to read that. Now, the second reason why I think this is an awesome tool for stackers is, on top of, he goes into retirement accounts and stuff like that, he does have a part of his portfolio, or the people he talks with and interviews, their portfolio is in precious metals and gold. And if you're a stacker, you know how to get the most out of every ounce, and how to better be protected and buy, in my opinion, rounds that won't fall if spot prices fall. And so I feel like if you have those two things going for you, a good retirement account really set up to be efficient, a really good efficient stack, and also the third thing, which I sort of something new I pulled out of from this, is investments. The rich invest in things where they're looking not to lose. They're not going for the stellar gains or the out of the blue successes. They're looking at things that are pretty much guaranteed they won't lose and have an upside. So my example of this that I like to do and try things out before I recommend to them or even talk about them to you guys. But forever stamps, it's pretty much like a bond with the U.S. Postal Service, And I mean, they went up in January from 44 to 49 cents, and I don't think they'll ever go down again, not with inflation and the price of gas going up. So, and his example in the book was Ray Dalio he interviewed, and he had a storage units full of nickels, because nickels, their metal value is higher than their currency value. And if ever that happened, that they decided, oh well, this is a stupid idea, let's get rid of the pennies and the nickels because we're losing too much money, I mean, he would be able to cash in pretty seriously, and he's got zero risk because they're always going to be worth the face value of the coins. That's why I buy the semi-numismatics versus just straight bullion, is because I like to minimize my downside as much as possible, and if I can just get some upside and very small downside, that's really what I'm trying to go for. So that's just a few of the things I pulled out of the book that was very specific to stackers. It's got so much other stuff. If you're not into finances or you don't have any sort of retirement plan, or you simply don't plan that way, you don't want a retirement plan, it's still a good read to just know how bad the financial system can screw you over. And it's probably the reason why a lot of you aren't doing a retirement plan, because you've seen the signs of how bad they can screw you over, and this paints like a million pictures of how exactly they are not liable, how it's ridiculous. It's a good read all by itself because of that, if you're not interested in the retirement. So I don't obviously get anything from book sales. All of the book sales from him go to charity. I'm only telling you about this because I've used it, and I like to share with you guys some easy ways that I've found. And I like bringing values to you guys because I think it's worth it. I think I value that you guys listen to me and you guys tune into my channel. So anything that I find that's good, I try to pass on to you. So that's what I'm doing here. No other benefits or anything else for me. So that's all for now. If you guys have read this book and have opinions on it or something like that, I mean, you don't have to have good opinions either, but just put them below or private message me, and I'd love to strike up a conversation about that. So have a good one.